Starting to the bottom left with a 1-0 lead in this series is our Terran player, the runner-up of this GSL season.
STXO Innovation from Korea.
Innovation from Korea. Don't mix him up with innovation from Bangladesh. Starting to the top right, we have his opponent. Starting for Evil Genius. 0-1 in the best of 3 series.
EG Revival Raid Call from America.
No, definitely not playing in WCS India.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do this time. Revival, trying to be aggressive in game number 1. Akilman is a great map to execute that strategy. I really love Roach player, Roach openings on this map. It's a great map for it. But now we have him up against Innovation on Neoplanet S. And this is his choice. This is his map choice. So he definitely prepared a lot for this matchup on a map like this. And keep in mind that in this group he doesn't have to prepare for Protoss. He can completely focus on Terran versus Zerg, and also, of course, much more important in a group with 3 Zerg players on ZVZ.
Yeah. Innovation is going for not a command center first. He puts the barracks down. Would be surprised if we don't see him add a gas very soon, so he can go ahead and go into either the Reapers or a very aggressive Hellion play. Reapers, obviously the more common transition. He could also do a reactor expand, but still he hasn't taken any of the gases. This is a little bit strange to see just a basic 1 barracks expand here, and Heart of the Swarm is so rare.
Yeah, very Wings of Liberty what he's currently doing. And let's see how Revival is going to react. He's already scouting with one of his Overlords, not getting anything like fancy, and as Innovation is not starting with the command center first, the things that he can do are very limited. But right now we have the pool and also the gas going down for Revival. And let's see what he has prepared here. Roach aggression on maps like this is very strong, but if you do it too often it becomes a bit predictable, which we've seen when Kango was playing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Started to look a little bit obvious what he was doing every time. Innovation puts the commander down. This is really Wings of Liberty-esque. Almost nobody is doing this anymore in Heart of the Swarm, just simply because the Reaper allows you such an easy scout and a lot of pressure. So if you're not going to go CC first, most people will choose the Reaper. Goes double gas now as a follow-up.
Yeah, and you're definitely right. The Reapers are so common these days because they give you scouting information, they give you safety, they give you map awareness, and especially on maps where you then have Zanaga watchtowers, you can also control those with ease as long as the Zerglings don't have speed. So never going to be an issue for you. We have the gas now, and he has 100 gas mined to the point, and immediately speed has been started. But he doesn't really know what exactly his opponent is up to just yet. And that's one of the things that, of course, Revival is very eager to find out right now.
Yeah.
What did you actually do?
It's all about the transition, you know, because at this point he's probably getting a little bit confused. He's like, well, are you really doing a 1 barracks expand? Because you didn't send a Reaper to my base, and you don't have a CC first. So are you doing a 2 racks into a command center, or are you doing a 1 barracks expand? You know, you have to keep kind of floating your Overlord in there to see that timing. Send a Zergling forward like this. And when he sees this build from Innovation, he's got a few things he can do. He knows that the Hellions are going to be very late, so he can take a 3rd base very quickly, even though it's a long rush distance. He could also try to put on some pressure with some Speedlings. He's making 4 more right now.
Yeah, he's getting those Zerglings out again, the extra Overlord now, since he's starting to be supply block. But that will also make him gather up a lot of minerals, and I would expect him, if he plans on getting a 3rd, getting it fairly soon. We're already 5:30 in the game, so you can definitely take that 3rd against Terran now, especially since speed is about to be done. Seems to be a little bit reluctant, though, not sending it out, and that looks more and more like this Overlord was really a bit of a misstep, especially since he's immediately supply a block again.
Yeah. He starts at 8 drones as well. He's not going to put on any Speedling aggression, just wants to keep checking with the links he did make. Speed being done here allows him to, you know, have some mobility on the map, but it doesn't allow him to see anything in the main base.
3 drones once again in gas, taking the 3rd now as we speak, and the extra Overlord so that he can once more start to produce a couple of units. 3rd Queen also coming up, and he's really droning up high. So usually when you see a build like this unfold, you already know, okay, we at least are not going to see the typical Wings of Liberty style Roach Baneling aggression. And he doesn't have any evolution chambers just yet. He's still trying to find out what's happening here. He doesn't really know, okay, what am I going to expect? And Innovation, he goes into Widow Mines, and that's something that Revival will now, if not find out, then at least get an inkling of, if he sees the starport, and he does.
Yep, sees it, gets a really good idea of what's happening here. Doesn't know if there's an armory or not.
Oh, he could see the Widow Mines. No, just barely not able to see them. Roach running comes down for Revival.
Really good scouts here by Revival. Yeah, he does lose 2 Overlords for it, but now he's very certain there's no armory. There's no way there would be an armory there. My question, though, is did he see the Command Center? No, he did not. So he doesn't know his 3rd Command Center. That's the one information he's missing.
Crypto so far is decent, and the Roach Warren will be done fairly soon. He has a lot of resources here. He's building a couple of Overlords, but actually not enough to man up a huge attack. So he should definitely start his lair tech pretty soon. He wants a few Roaches out against this.
Spore here for detection.
Yeah, Spore as well. But he's starting to have a very late lair tech. That's something that we saw Lucira do too, but still.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to focus on these Widow Mines right now, a little bit stressed by them. Good pull away here with the drones. Innovation getting a good hit last time. This time getting almost nothing, a few lings.
Yeah, he has too many resources for my liking. He could have started that lair tech a lot faster than he actually did.
Oh, that was a good hit.
Yeah, that was a really good hit. 5 killed in total, so the second Widow Mine definitely paying off. He's floating a lot of money for a long time now.
Yeah,
he could have started the lair tech faster. Like, I feel
it's not the most efficient way to have done this, for sure.
He felt, I think, a bit intimidated by the job and was really preoccupied by it, so that's why everything else was delayed. But he could have started, in a more crisper build, he would have started all the things that we now see on the production tab like 10 seconds earlier. Earlier lair, earlier double evolution chamber, earlier upgrades would have helped him a lot. As it is, it's a little bit delayed. Might not come into play, but it's something where he can definitely just try to edge out a few additional seconds.
Yeah. His dropship here, he loves to use that for scouting. I really can appreciate that, because a scan is just so expensive to use for a scout. But if you have the drop, you can always see what composition your opponent's making. How many roaches is he making? Is he doing a roach baneling attack? Is he trying to hit a timing? Having that thing just floating around can tell you a lot.
We don't see the speed upgrade for roaches. He has lair completed, and he starts with a speed upgrade for his lings. But that's about it. Even speed upgrade now for Overlords and Burrow upgrade.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem to... The thing is, like, if he doesn't go into anything like roach speed, he is either going to hit a massive circling and baneling timing, which I personally do not really think is going to happen.
I don't think that's going to work.
But if he doesn't do that, then he needs to start his big attack. Like, he has several options, but he's heavily supply blocked once again.
Yeah.
And that's becoming an issue. That's not the first time in this game.
He's now making 5 banelings, and he's only floating about 100 gas. He's making 18 zerglings right now. It looks like he might want to hit that timing you're talking about, which can work out, but it can also fail pretty hard.
Yeah.
1-1 about to be finished here for Innovation. He's going to have a slight upgrade lead for a little while, and he's also going to have combat shields very soon.
I don't really think he'd want to hit... I mean, he's getting the Zerglings for it, but he's also taking a 4th base behind it, and he has a huge number of drones here. It's like at 76. So if you play that more all-inish, it would look a little bit different. We'd love to see what exactly Innovation has set up at his, at his 3rd and also at his natural. But the more Zerglings we see on the production tab, the more likely it is that Revival is really just going for a massive aggression here. There's no Spire, we don't have an Infestation Pit, there's just no huge tech follow-up to this.
And also, remember that Innovation has seen everything. He's been watching this the entire time with his Viking, with his medevacs. He knows exactly what the type of composition he's up against. He's just making more and more Widow Mines. Right now, already at 7, and he's going into 9.
Yeah, with the upgrade pattern now +2/+2, you would actually expect maybe even a hive tech and then going into later on Ultra List. But for now, he's just trying to make this work what he has on the map right now. But we have all those Marines moving in, taking down banelings that are for some reason right at the front. Now the Widow Mine shots have been activated. Once again, Overlord, Overseer going down, and the Lings too. But there's even more.
That was a great Widow Mine shot. He needs to pull the SCVs though, and so far the split is nearly perfect.
Yeah, a really good job by Innovation here, and I don't know, Revival is not doing anything with this.
He certainly is not. Innovation's starting to take a supply lead just because of how cost efficient he's trading against the banelings. You know, you talked about those banelings that were just kind of hanging out and just rolled into the Marines that he clearly wasn't paying attention to. That hurt him a lot.
And once again, with Widow Mine targeting, we've been talking about this earlier, Innovation could have even defended better. When all those banelings and Zerglings were running up that ramp towards the 3rd, if he retargets on the banelings, he can take all of those down and only the Zerglings survive. But as it is right now, suddenly Innovation is 20 supply ahead. Revival is desperately trying to catch up in tech going into the Spire. This was supposed to do damage.
That was supposed to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it didn't do any damage at all.
It did nothing. And the Mutalists are here so late, he's not going to be able to use them to deny any drops that come out right now. He's not going to be able to use them to harass at all. That Overlord is dead.
The Zerglings that he has here are kind of cute, but usually Innovation always has a couple of units behind that can deal with this. Nice scan here.
Great burrows, and the Widowmine shots were almost...
Yeah.
They were almost perfect.
Taking down the Widowmines too, but at least the Banelings are gone, and he can really split quite well against this, just forcing the creep back. He doesn't have to engage and suddenly like push Revival back and win the game right here now. He can take his time. We have now even the Infestation bit coming up, so the idea is of course to go into Hive. Nice getting that hit out really well.
Bait the shot out. Needs a split, and Innovation, man, his splits are...
They're great.
So good.
Once again, Revival not accomplishing anything. He has a lot of resources, but he's falling behind in supply. And of course his bank is one of the reasons, but the Mutalisks that are coming into play now, I don't think that they're really going to change things, especially since the Terran player is now on 2-2 upgrades and immediately starts 3-3, doesn't waste a second.
Yep, this is... I mean, Revival is on his last legs right now. I mean, yeah, he's not dead. Innovation's not walking on his natural or anything, but Revival looks like he's out of options at this point. Those Lings not doing too much. The Widowmine doing more than the Lings themselves.
Base to the right side is down and Revival moving in now. But this game looks much more dominant by Innovation than the last one did, I have to say.
Yeah.
We have so many medivacs for him, and as I said, the upgrades coming up, and 3-3 for a Terran is very scary.
It is. It's the scariest thing you can face before you're on your highest tech, and Hive has only just now started. So he's going to have a huge window of time where he's ahead in upgrades. He's going to rip this Zerg army to shreds if he continues to split like we've seen from him already. Okay, Widowmine shot there, not the best.
Yeah, not the best one. He needs to target those Banelings. That's exactly what he's trying to do here. So far he's doing a decent job. The stutter step is good. He could load up into the medivacs even with the Mutalisks there. It would be a good choice, but here come the rest of the Widowmine.
This micro, oh my god! He splits, goes back, and Revival just not trading the most efficiently here.
Revival, I think, has once again a problem with his lava. I don't think that he has too much. He's building
7 currently right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough. He's immediately using them for more Zerglings, but he needs more lava for this. I don't think he has a macro hatch. He once again skipped on it. And look at how many minerals he has. 1,500. I think you can sacrifice 300 for additional production.
Yeah, and he keeps losing that hatch to the right side. That affects his production too. But we talked about this last game. You know, if you just rely on that hatch to the right side as your macro hatch, that's much more risky than just making one in the main base.
But let's keep in mind that Revival is probably playing against the best Terran players that we...
in the entire world.
Yeah, that we have in StarCraft 2 right now. The Innovation is definitely the best. So Revival is pressured here by Innovation, but who wouldn't be?
Exactly. I mean, Innovation's about to take the center gold base. We don't see that all too often on Neoplanet S. Every now and then.
Because he can.
Because he can. And right now, it's like Revival's stuck at 135 supply every time I look. And he's just not able to push himself further out because Innovation is not leaving him alone.
This bank, Revival, for God's sake, build a hatch.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look a bit silly that he's not doing that. And maybe some nerves here, you know, playing against such a good player like
definitely.
Innovation.
Oh, yeah, if he is not nervous at this point, then he would be... I would take him on as a Hitman disciple.
Well, I mean, at this point in time, he's trying to get closer to that max. He starts the Ultra's Cavern. Widowmine's Burrow here in the face of danger. He's got another one to fall back to, and oh... great hit there. Being chased down here once again, but 190 supply for the Terran, and his 3-3 is done. He's getting the gold base in the middle of the map. There are sensor towers everywhere. To the left side, we have the 4th base. Oh, walking right on top of that Baneling, but Revival doesn't realize it detonates it too late. Here comes the rest of the army, though. He needs to burrow those Widowmines, and he does. Mutos run away, but it's just too much pressure here. Innovation having that upgrade lead, 3-3 versus 2-2. Scans ahead. He knows he can go for the kill move here, at the very least, on this 4th base. Revival is trying to get Ultralisks out, but they're just so late. Innovation is moving in again and taking the 4th down. And a 5-base Terran player against the 3-base Zerg is just not working, especially if one of those bases is a gold expansion. Yeah. 1 Ultras on the way. That's all he can afford. Just 1 Ultra. And yeah, maybe he gets this gold base. Maybe. He's not even... He's so scared he flies away before it even matters. That's how his nerves are playing into this. Baits him in here with the medevacs, and he will actually save it. Yep, he saves it. He could... Hey, actually, he won't if he doesn't immediately call down a mule. Yeah, he needs a mule here. But he didn't kill it directly. There's the mule to save it. You saw it there on the screen. Yep. Mule is there, starts to immediately repair it, is able to save it, maybe now against the not even the planetary! He does not even get the planetary! Use the last few Banelings, make it happen! There he goes. There it is. But the planetary in the middle of the map survives, and Revival just traded everything he owned to kill a planetary that was on a base that's not even critical anymore. The gold base is much more important. Innovation could just walk across the map and finish him Mortal Kombat style at this point.
It was so awesome how Innovation lifted the CC in the middle of the map when he realized that the Mutalisks were retreating and that only Zerglings were a problem. Saves it just barely. That was such a smart move.
He's now getting building armor, high-sec auto-tracking, and that one Ultra from before now has a partner, but they're just going to die together.
The Terran Soul Train is moving in. It is Innovation. That's nickname, and he's moving right over Revival. There's just no way to stop him.
He's just thinking, this is bogus.
Yeah, this is bogus. GG and game as Revival loses game number 2, and we have Innovation advance to the winner match of the group.
Innovation is just on another level. That was dominant play that we saw from him. Revival has some cool ideas, some cool pressure moves, but the micro that we saw in this game number 2 very specifically was incredible. Some of those fights I was sure Revival was going to get the better trade, it just did not happen that way.
Yeah, I didn't like his circling aggression with the Banelings at the beginning. I would have much like, even if he goes into another Roach attack with Banelings, I would have much preferred that. On a kill-on, looked good, but the aggression that we saw, Innovation just took him apart with a better micro. His splits were great, he always moved back, had nice targeting with the Widow Mines, that really worked out well for him, and then everything for Revival was so much delayed, and he could never get a 4th.
Right, I mean, he was really just under pressure constantly, no macro hatch. We are going to take, though, a 10-minute break before we go into our next matches.
See you guys in a few.